since day one. My cat Jameson quickly chose his favourite person, and unfortunately it was not me.
Oh, Jimmy James!
You just give me some kisses.
He gets up with me in the morning.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
And hangs out with me while I get ready to go to work.
He's got to smell everything before we go.
Yeah, I think the ritual at the moment is bedtime. I'm like, come on, mate, and then he'll come lay down with me. I like sometimes whistling just to get him to come over to me, just to be like, yeah, I told you I'm the favourite.
Are you serious? I never had any animals growing up or anything, so I was always really, really hesitant in having a pet. And Chase had cats all his life and always wanted a cat. So basically, the kind of gag was that after we got married, we'd get a cat, and it was kind of a running joke. So we started looking at the shelter's website, and when we saw Jameson, I think Jameson spoke to us.
He chose us.
We went out and we saw him, and he really was not doing well in the shelter at all. He had to be isolated. He wasn't coping well, and I think it's because he's a bit of a senior cat. And when we went into his own little cage, came out and nudged off Chase and went to him. Chase immediately fell in love with him after that.
And I was like, yeah, this is our cat.
We don't actually know anything about him. We adopted him when he was 7. I don't really think it mattered to us. And it took Jameson and I a while to get used to each other. He was scared, I was scared. He was living in like the spare room in a closet. He wouldn't come out of the closet. He'd take a couple of steps out and then decide it wasn't for him.
And we put the kitty litter and the food and toys and scratching poles and all that in there. And then I was like, I might sleep in the spare room just so he knows that we're here. I'd wake up in the middle of the night to him sort of like jumping up on the bed, and then when he realised I was awake, he'd dart back into the cupboard.
And I got sick and I had to spend a couple of days off work. And during that time, we were forced to spend time with each other. And Jameson came out of the closet and he sat up in my lap. He actually like hopped up on the couch and laid down on me. Where I was like, oh my God, I just like love this feeling.
That was when I had to go back to work, and when Nicola really started bonding with him, and he was feeling pretty brave and started exploring the apartment. And, you know, by the end of the 2 weeks, he'd taken control of the room. He was like, no, you can stay in my bed.
Because I'd never had pets, I just wanted him to come into the house and slot in straight away. So that was bothering me as well. I just needed it immediately to be like a blended, seamless family. But yeah, that wasn't for Jameson. Now we realise that Jameson does everything on his own time. I think, yeah, probably like the energy that Chase put into the spare room and put into the house in general really kind of made Jameson feel safe. But just as we were getting closer, something started to feel off. We noticed that he wasn't urinating properly, and we took him into the vet, and unfortunately he developed a urinary blockage. He spent the entire weekend in hospital. Without sounding dramatic, we didn't know if he was going to survive. We weren't aware that he had any urinary issues when we adopted him, so this was all kind of brand new to us. But after the weekend in hospital, he was healthy and we could bring him home. But and it really made us realise just how special he is and what a massive part of the family he is. That was a pretty traumatic time for both of us, because he was obviously getting used to us, but like we were getting used to him as well.
Jimmy James.
And once he felt safe, his true character came out.
He can actually be very flirtatious. When he loves you, he really, really loves you, especially in the mornings. He wants to wake us both at 4 a.m.
And I'm usually the first to crack.
He can be incredibly cuddly. He can be incredibly needy.
So now what? He follows me around the house. I mean, I follow him around the house as well. So I can rile him up and he knows it's okay to play with Dad.
Oh, you're such a good boy. Don't you bite me.
And with Nicola, he's more gal's day out relaxing in the sun.
So he very much gives the love, but can also take it away. He has a look where he looks at you and it is just so incredibly judgmental that it just makes you feel very small. He can be very expressive. He often makes me laugh, like with his expressions, kind of like side eye, where he just like can be a bit of a drama queen. Even though it kind of cuts you, it's actually very funny. And he also makes us laugh because he's very playful.
He play fights with me a lot. He doesn't get aggressive with Nicola, but like I can rile him up and he knows it's okay to play with Dad.
He is quite independent. I think because he's a bit of a senior cat, he's very self-assured, very confident, and he also has only child syndrome as well.
Jameson.
We have pet sitted or friends' cats and it hasn't gone well. He needs all the attention to himself. And then once he gets what he wants, he's kind of like, well, I'm done with you now. I've got better things to be doing. Jameson also knows that he's the main priority in this household and he really kind of leans into that. I thought it was like a thing that I used to see in cartoons where like cats like milk. And then one morning I gave him a bit of milk on a saucer and he like lapped it up. I give him light milk and it's like the froth from when I make coffees in the morning and then I mix it with water. But I just wasn't expecting it to become such a demanding process because now the minute I press the button on the coffee machine, he comes over, he stands by the coffee machine, he starts meowing. So whether I'm running late for work or anything, like I now am like subservient to making these cappuccinos every morning. It's just so funny that this is my life now, just, you know, making cappuccinos for a cat every single morning. And again, nobody to blame, only myself because I started this.
Jameson. Jameson.
But even after all those efforts, Jameson still chooses Chase as his favourite human.
He's one of my best mates. He gets up with me in the morning. He waits while I have a shower and then I come out and I feed him. And then while I'm getting ready for work, he hangs out with me. I'm definitely the favourite. And I feed him more than you do because he manipulates me very well. He knows who feeds him. Just keeps meowing at me and I cave first. And if Nicola's laying down with him, I can whistle and he'll come running. I think I'm his safe space.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He just wants people to know that A, he has a cat, and B, the cat loves him.
Especially now that he's blown up on TikTok, I'm like, you're an employee. I'm his friend.
Chase, for years, had wanted a cat. So when he was rewarded the cat and essentially kind of like forced his love upon the cat. So realistically, Jameson had no choice, only just to love Chase. Chase has always been incredibly clear about where he stands with the cat, which is ultimate, unconditional love, whether the cat wants it or not. I just think it's so special, and I think Chase probably showed me like the value in having a pet and how much, you know, a pet can really contribute to your family. And I think I just like automatically became a cat person like at that time with him. And I suppose it's just this kind of like unconditional love that like I didn't really know. Like people had spoken about with like the joy of pets, but I'd never felt it. It does genuinely feel like the best feeling in the world. And now the cat is just my entire identity and everything I do revolves around the cat. And now that we've had him for well over a year, I've kind of realised that, yeah, he was always meant to be part of our lives and we were always meant to have Jameson. I would say my bond with Jameson is probably one of the most surprising things that has ever happened to me in my entire life.
Jameson.
And yeah, I suppose my only regret was that maybe we didn't adopt him sooner.